Wiki, 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 wiki. I assume we're up. If we're not up, we'll find out, won't we? No thanks. No, unsplit that. Close left. Yeah, because that's where I need you. I need to close this folder. Close folder. File, open folder. Oh wow. Huh. Wow. Look at that. You know, 1 second, still setting up. I thought I already had the folder. Apparently not. I'm closed down. There it is. All right. Cool. Got it. I can delete that. Don't need that part. There you go. Now we're in business. We're in business. Still says preparing to stream though. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, won't we? Let's see. Okay. Why is it stuttering? That's a little weird. Can you not do it? Not doing it? Man. Here, 1 second, folks. I'm back. See about now. It's always one thing if it ain't another thing. We'll just chill right here for right now until I figure it out. I know I have a background somewhere. Give me a second. I still gotta fix those. Alrighty, I'll be back. Coming back in now. There you go. Alrighty, I'll be back. Still having me lag. I don't know why. Oh well. Figure it out after a while. Oh, you know what? I got a good idea as to why that is. Wait. Something disappeared. Still having me lag. I don't know why. Oh well. Figure it out after a while. Oh, you know what? I got a good idea as to why that is. Wait. There you go, the music's back. Woo! Alright. So, right now we're in day 11. Technically, I've been, if you follow me or know me in the 100 Devs community, I started around, what was it, January, the last week of January last year into coding. So that was tackling HTML, CSS, and I got into a huge CSS kind of loop, where I was struggling real bad, to grasp the concept. But I'm fairly confident in it now, and we're tackling JavaScript today. Back into JavaScript, like we're gonna be spending a decent amount of time in there. So we're learning what are JavaScript objects. So far, I understand that they're lists. Well, no, arrays are lists. JavaScript objects are like descriptions, right? Like this cup, right? It's a cup. It is gray. Yeah, I got two cups in one. Nah, ain't nothing funny in there, obviously. It's a cup. It's gray. One of the properties of the cup is that it's gray, because that's the color property. And then it has like a pattern, if you can see the pattern. It has a pattern, stuff like that. And if you want to give it a behavior, it is called a method. I understand that premise so far, and that's essentially what it does. Objects and object methods. There are plenty of methods. I just know they exist. You can give it a objects are basically how you define a variable. You just go to the definition part. Yeah, you define a variable, and then the one equal sign for assignment. You open the curly braces, open and close them, and then break it so it slips like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I forgot. We're flipped. So like that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, and inside of that, you put all the properties, and inside of that, you put the method. So, and that's how that works. A method is basically a function inside of an object. Functions took me a decent amount of time. There's still other methods to learn. I understand, like map. I do understand map at this point to a degree now. I'm not super familiar with all of them, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So now we're on class 22. Let's go ahead into the class. I'm already late as it is starting. You go like, subscribe, comment. If you know anything about me so far, I'm a U.S. Army veteran. Currently, coding until I become a software engineer. There's plenty of things to do. I do volunteer. I volunteer coding, so that helps me get better skills and understanding, and I get around more senior people there in my Discord. There's some people there. I'm not as keen. I'm gonna get better about it. That's pretty much what it is. It's a growing thing for me. So there's a lot of experimentation going on, but definitely growing. Anyway, Discord's there. You'll see me in there whether I'm coding, relaxing. If you could see like white keys right here, that's my keyboard. I play. I'm taking piano lessons, so there's that. I'm not necessarily spread too thin. However, it is. That's something I want to do, and it's for something else. I know someone asked me a question a while ago, like, did I ever consider like creating a game? Funny thing is, I've made 15 2D scrollers years, like, I don't know, when I was like 16, 17, something like that. In Python, it was like Python 1.5. The syntax was a lot different than it is now. So I'd have to get back into that. I made the game. It was a 2D scroller, the health bar, all of that. The music, I did that. I used Audacity back then. I'm not sponsored by them. Uh, is it Audacity or Udacity? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I used them and made sounds in there. It's free, so you know when you're not working, that's you make things work. So there's that. Truth be told, there's that. Uh, yeah. So let's. Right now, this is going to be kind of long. I do intend to cut up, to make it more structured. All the videos I have so far, I think I got like 26 videos. Like they're all in a playlist. I shoot them. I always put them in the playlist. Uh, so go to the playlist, check it out. Check it out. You can see my day zero. The audio's bad. I know. That was me getting started. I've upgraded a couple of equipment since then. Um, things like so stuff like that definitely came a long way. Talked about consistency in the last video. Consistency looks a little different for everybody because I'm married, I'm a father of 3 kids, so and a veteran, with other things that I have to deal with. So you do what you can as long as you stick to it, and you take care of whether it's your mental health or your emotional health or anxiety or whatever it is that you're going through. Make sure you take care of you. Always going forward can sometimes you end up doing a lot of action and not going anywhere, right? So, and that's where piano lessons comes for me. um when I do things like that. uh Give me 1 second. I'm definitely gonna have to cut that out. My I had an important call. So, but yeah, consistency looks different for everybody. See, like that for instance, right? When it comes to your kids or whatever your immediate family, if you're a father like I am and a husband like I am, or somebody's spouse, right? Um, things happen, things come up, but let's get into it. More fun with objects. Right now I'm on class. This is class 22. Yeah, this is class 22 with objects, JavaScript, and 100 devs. Let's get it.
Yo. Hey.
He has music playing in the background of his.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're coming from.
There you go.
Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back, folks. Another Thursday. Let's go. Let's get us some. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Good night tonight. Tonight's a good night. We got a lot of some spiciness with arrays, a little bit more of these fancy methods, just a little bit of review, a little bit of the fancy methods. Then we're going deeper with our objects. We're going to look at not only using literal notation, but also using constructors, adding more spice to our objects, getting us ready for next week when we start using APIs and using objects to build really cool stuff. But tonight we're going to build some really cool stuff too. We're going to see functions come together. We're going to see how we can have functions doing one task and then using them in correct ways and fun ways. So lots of fun stuff, some good review, some good practice with arrays, some good stuff with objects. Glad you all are here. You know what I like to do? I like to start off the beginning, of course, with our questions. So if you got some questions, maybe I got some answers. Let's gamble. We'll get some gambling in tonight. Don't worry. We got some YOLOs to be had. Got some YOLOs to be had for sure. We're gonna be doing a rock paper scissors game together, and then we're gonna play some rock paper scissors. We're gonna see if people really put up these channel points or not. What's a YOLO? A YOLO is when you put it all on the line. You throw all the channel points into the win and you hope for the dub. You either double or you don't. We saw somebody win almost 50,000 channel points last stream. Whew. You only live once, exactly. Alrighty. The question of the day, however. Question of the day. Would you rather be rescued by Batman or Spider-Man? But Batman or Spider-Man in chat for me. Batman or Spider-Man, please. Lost it. I think I lost 80K one time. Oh no.
Would I rather be rescued by? That's a good question.
Actually, it's pretty split. Seen a lot of Spider-Mans now. A few Batmans. This one's hard.
It is.
Being rescued by Spider-Man be way more fun. Like you're swinging through the air, like you're having a lot of fun. But I might be able to convince Batman and give me some of the cheddar. You know, like I feel like Batman being your friend could lead to more opportunity than Spider-Man being your friend. I don't know what that makes me if I'm already kind of gold dig on my superhero rescues, but I feel like more fun with Spider-Man. But I might get a little something extra with Batman. You never know. Could you imagine you're like falling through the air? Can we wait for Batman to get here, please? Spider-Man, hold on. Is Batman coming? Let's look around real quick. All right, you got me. Alrighty, folks. You know what we like to do? We always like to give folks an extra second or two to get in here. If you're new, welcome. We're running a 30-week software engineering bootcamp where we go from zero to employed. If you need the materials for tonight, we're going to have lots of practice, fingers on keyboard. You can always do !Discord in chat. use our Discord to get the materials. You have to agree to the rules, and then there's a follow along materials channel that you can use to get all the materials for what we're doing tonight. Alrighty, folks, you got some extra questions. I got some answers for you while we let folks get in here. Don't forget to get your hydrations in today.
There's some new homework, so you actually get to see me go through that.
X-Men Nightcrawler, easy.
Once we get into
Alrighty, get in here.
Okay, thank you. I'm not overly concerned. People will find me when they find me. Thank you.
Dots. That's a spread operator. It enables you to kind of have the full array explode in that position. So instead of having to like put everything in there, it can kind of spread open and be in there. We'll see that later on. It's a good question though. Yeah, spread operator if you want to look up what that is. All right, I got a question. I archived some projects on Glitch to be neat. Are they still available for you to see in the homework submissions, or I need to re-upload, submit? You don't have to re-upload or submit. Don't worry if you submitted them with some other links. We got them already.
I use CodePen, codepin.io.
That spread operator got me in Code Wars. Yeah, it comes up quite a bit. It comes up quite a bit in Code Wars. Especially if you're looking at other people's solutions, you're going to see that spread operator a lot in the Code Wars. So that's the beauty, right? When you're doing your Code Wars, either you solve it or you look at the solution. Always look at how other people did it, and you're going to pick up so many like tips and tricks. And so for a while, whenever I'm learning a new language and I'm doing Code Wars for the first time, I stay Googling stuff. There's so many little like quirks of each language that you only get when you're doing challenges every day. And so that's why Code Wars is also so important. You just pick up on all these little things that we'll never have time to cover live together. But if you're doing your Code Wars every day, you're learning something new about the language every day. Leon, one of my friends showed me his technical interview, and I understood most of the words in the technical interview. He got the offer. I thought it was cool to understand when I knew nothing 3 months ago. Hey, Matt, that's awesome. Good to hear that.
Check in.
Alrighty, folks, let's get into it. Let's see what we got to get into today. So we are talking about functions and loops, and we're going to review some arrays. We got some fun stuff to do with arrays, and I think for the first time, we're going to really see functions that serve one unique purpose being used to build a larger app. So we're going to see some fun stuff with functions. We're going to see some good array methods just to get some more practice with it. I know a lot of folks are doing the array methods in their Code Wars. So we're going to see some fun ones like reduce, some of them that were in the reading that we hadn't had a chance to get over yet. Then we're going to go deeper into objects and setting ourselves up really well to move into APIs. Cool. Yeah, it seems like I can't really get the grasp on JS. I tried everything you've told us, repetition. I always feel like I understand quite a bit, but every time I face the problem, either in Code Wars or the task for homework, my mind goes blank. What else should I do to help me understand more? Well, I mean, when your mind goes blank, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that happens to most folks when they start seeing these problems for the first few times. That idea of like, you're looking at a problem can trigger a lot of stress. It can trigger a lot of emotions of like fear and doubt. And so that's why I say when you're first approaching Code Wars, don't beat yourself up. Just look at the solution, right? Until you start doing these challenges more regularly, right? Your brain might just switch off. And so you got to get comfortable with the problems first. You got to get comfortable with like the way they phrase stuff, or how they like the terminology that's being used. And so when you're first doing these problems, probably for the first week or two, you're probably just like looking at it going, I understand some of these words, and then just looking at the solution. It's not
as I on B.
Yourself up
I'm studying for
how these like very weird questions are being framed. The thing that you have to do though, the thing that you can never ever do is look at the question, look at the solution, and not commit it to memory. It has to be in your brain. You have to be able to look at that problem again and know exactly how you're going to solve it. And so when you see that problem, you immediately, if you don't know how to solve it, look at the solution, spend that amount of time you would have spent solving on analyzing, typing, retyping until you don't have to look at the solution anymore. Add that question to your Anki, and then every day be reviewing that question and the solution. Because I guarantee you there are going to be parts of that question that show up in other questions later on. And if you're looking at a bunch of code wars and it's still not clicking, right? It's still not clicking.
Yeah, I'm studying for full stack.
Those patterns yet. Eventually you build up this muscle, this repertoire of problems that you've seen. And when you look at a coding problem, you'll go, oh.
But for right now, it's front end.
And so that takes a while.
I'm
Some folks
learning more front end now.
It'll take a month.
That way I can make a complete front end.
Every single day though, within 2 to 3 weeks, that starts to be
Thank you for stopping by.
Easy. Especially if you stick to level 8 fundamentals, you're only doing 8 Qs, and you're doing the same types of problems in a row. Don't be the person that does an array problem, then a string problem, then an object problem, jumping around, because you won't see the patterns that way. You have to do all the array problems. You have to do all the object problems. You have to do all the string problems. Don't jump around, because then you won't notice the patterns. So almost always when my students are saying like, Leon, I've done code wars for a week, I'm still having trouble. They haven't committed the past solutions to memory, and they're probably still jumping. If you're doing all that, just give yourself a little bit more time. It takes a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done code. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I've done like 2 code wars. I know I should do at least one a day.
Only arrays for a while, or only strings for a while.
I gotta work that into everything I got going on.
Cool. Alrighty, let's get into it, folks. We're gonna do some quick review. We're gonna have a good kind of practice problems to get our fingers on the keyboards, and we're gonna keep going. So if you haven't checked in yet, please go ahead and check in. ! Check in. If you haven't followed along in the follow along materials or followed along on Twitter, go ahead and check in for me. Give that a like, retweet.
You can check into 100 though, so you could do check in the Discord, man, just to let me know you were here.
Alrighty.
Up to you.
Submitting work. I want to see your task work. So at the end of the reading that I've asked you to do, there were some tasks. I want to see how far you got in this task, what you were able to do. So please go ahead and make sure you submitted your work for the tasks that you've done. Thank you. And it pays to open the newsletter, folks. So if you opened the newsletter and you filled out the secret form, we got a raffle that we have to do right now. So I ain't getting got no more.
I don't have a raffle. I know that he had a raffle.
I grabbed everybody's Twitch names from the newsletter, from that form, and I put it in a random name picker. I ain't getting got no more. No more free raffles here. You know what I'm saying?
Usually his first hour is like
and you click the secret raffle and you fill
talking as such.
We're about to do that raffle now. It pays to open the newsletter, folks. It really pays next week. Next Thursday, a newsletter's gonna be popping. That's all I gotta say. How do you sign up for the newsletter? You can do !newsletter, !newsletter, and that'll get you signed up. Cool. So the newsletter goes out before class, 30 minutes before every single class. Kind of just talks about what the class is going to be, and I always put little secrets in there. I always put like some little bit of extra tidbits. Sometimes I do raffles, sometimes I just do words of encouragement. So newsletter, don't miss it. All right, for the folks that threw in their names, we had about over 500 people that clicked the link before class started, and so I'm going to randomly pick your name now.
Oh, he's about to do
here we go,
the name picker.
All right, Toto by Africa 1313. Go ahead and send me a whisper, and we're gonna get some merch coming your way next week. So next week we
I like the idea.
Merch, and Toto, you are getting a t-shirt coming your way. So congratulations, folks. It pays to open the newsletter. Alrighty, health first. We talked about this last class. Make sure you're doing the things that you need to do. We're hitting our stride now, right? We're hitting our stride now. meaning that we're doing a lot more. Where fingers are going to be on the keyboard a lot more. You're going to be building a lot more. You're doing code wars every day. Like your fingers are going to start to hurt. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting your stretches in. When we take our breaks, make sure you're actually taking your breaks. Make sure you're hydrating, good sleep, right? If you need to take a day, take a day. If you need to miss a class, miss a class. It's okay. We'll be here. We got the catch-up crew. Your health comes first. And I feel like I always have to say this. I have to say this for every cohort I teach, because every single cohort I teach, I have folks that go to the emergency room because they don't take this serious, right? They don't take this part serious. Your body is going through a lot of physical challenges as much as the mental challenges of learning to code, right? So make sure you're taking care of yourself, because here's where it starts to, this is where the rubber starts to hit the road, folks. It's where you're starting to develop that wear and tear. And so please, before the pain sets in, take care of yourself. Coding challenges. You should be doing a code wars a day. A code wars a day.
A day.
You haven't been doing your code wars a day. It's okay. Now's the time to catch up, right? Now's the time to catch up. Make sure you're doing one a day. Level 8 Qs, fundamentals. Next week, next Thursday, we learn about Git and GitHub. After next Thursday, you're going to be pushing your code every day to GitHub. Every single day, you're going to do a coding challenge, and then you're going to push it to GitHub. And the reason why we do it and why this is so important is, one, you get that daily practice. Every single day you get to do something practical. Every single day you get to solve a challenge. By the time you're ready to interview, you're a lean, mean interviewing machine. But also, once you start pushing every day, any recruiter, hiring partner, someone that looks at your GitHub, they're going to see, oh, this person's really about this life. They're pushing to GitHub every single day. So please get your code wars in. Level 8s, fundamentals. Only stick with 8s. Make sure you're doing the same types of problems over and over again.
Yeah, it's a wicked lag.
Next week, after we have our class on Thursday, we're going to start pushing your challenges every day. When you're going up against another person for a job and they're trying to compare two candidates, the thing they're trying to figure out is, do I want to work with this person for the next 2 years, and can they really code? And so they're going to look at your GitHub, and if they see all these commits, all of these things that you're putting on there, that you're doing every single day, that's going to help tip the odds in your favor. Cool. We're gonna start turning things up, folks. That's why the health comes first. We're gonna start seeing the intensity turn up just a little bit in terms of us getting our fingers on the keyboard more, doing more practice problems, going deeper with our lecture. We're gonna slow down a lot of the repetition at the beginning and do a little bit more meat at the end of each class. And there are some folks that want to push, right? So when you're doing a boot camp of this size, there are some folks that are going to be a little behind. There are going to be some folks that are right there with you, and there are going to be some folks that want to push. So for the folks that want to push, you're going to start to see me recommend some extra stuff to do, not every class, but maybe every other class, right? So if you're in the position where you're feeling, you know what, I want to push a little bit faster, or I want to do a little bit more, I'm going to start giving you that work in case you want it. Cool. Now, when you see that push work, it's not something you have to do. It's for folks that have the privilege of time, right? And they have the means to do it, right? So don't worry that if you're not doing the push work, it's just for folks that really do want to push. So we're going to have a stratification of folks across the pond here, and we want to make sure that folks want to push, they can push
across the pond.
Notice in the follow along today, there was a little section, a little bit extra work. It's something you want to push yourself to do. I can hear this gif, so could I. All right, we mentioned it on Tuesday, but next week is the best week ever. We got something every single day of the week next week. We have our office hours on Sunday, but then we're gonna have something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So stay tuned. We're gonna be announcing some fun stuff that we're gonna be doing all throughout the week. It will be the best week ever, and culminating, so part of our best week ever is our sponsored stream on the 31st. So next Thursday, we have our Git and GitHub class, a fundamental class. We got to know how to use Git. We got to know how to get all of our work up on GitHub. And so Microsoft is coming through to sponsor that class. We got tons of swag to give out. We got laptops to give out. Make sure you're here on Thursday. It's gonna be
He basically he had 2 streams.
homework.
He had
Introduction to GitHub.
one specifically
So Microsoft
to
actually
us
has a really
or to 100 devs, and the other one
GitHub.
is actually on the Microsoft website.
When you go
So-
and click on that link,
Shoot.
you're gonna see
I don't
like
have no
an
description
email
up here.
submit.
Hmm.
If you fill out that email submission, you get entered into an extra raffle for a laptop. So if you want to get entered into that raffle for an extra laptop, go ahead and give the email. You don't have to, but if you want to be entered into that raffle, submit your email and you'll be entered into that raffle. And then you're going to see 2 things in that link. The intro to GitHub is your homework. I need you to go through that class before next Thursday. If you don't go through that class before next Thursday, you're going to be behind, and I don't want that to happen. So please click that link. If you want to be entered in the extra raffle, fill in your email. If you don't, just do the intro to GitHub, and that way we're prepared for Thursday. It'll be a really fun class, but it's also a really important class. All right. Yeah, you can just put 100 devs for the company or whatever. Yeah. Alrighty, folks, let's get into our review. And then we have a
Review.
what I think is a pretty cool coding challenge to do together. Alrighty, programming. Program is just a set of instructions we write to tell a computer what to do.
What to do.
And therefore, the act of programming is simply writing those instructions in a language that the computer can understand. The language that we use that helps the computer understand what the heck we're talking about is JavaScript. P. Dot, hey, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. We learned about the big 4, one of which was variables, our bucket that we can store data in. We can set up the space and memory with our declaration. We can assign that space and memory a value, and we can do both at the same time. So here you can see that let age equal 25. We're doing the declaration and the assignment at the same time. Beautiful. Sorry, my my iPad wasn't connected. 1 second. Beautiful. Alrighty. We learned about our conditional syntax, where we can check to see if a condition is true. If it is true, we do what's inside the curly braces. If not, we can move on to the else if to see if that's true. If that's not true, we automatically run the else. The else does not need a condition. You can have as many else ifs as you want. This is quick review for us. If you haven't been here before, we spent whole classes on this stuff, so we're gonna go a little bit fast as we just kind of get in our spaced repetition. Alrighty, you can also have multiple conditions where you're looking for both things to be true, where if your name equals Leon and your status equals Ballin, get a wink.
And he winked at the camera. All right.
We can also see if the day is Saturday or the day is Sunday, so we can do or.
So I'm
you're
just
just checking to see if just one of these conditions is true. As long as one is true, then you can do what is inside the curly braces. Alrighty. Functions. We learned about functions. Our functions are simple sets of instructions, and we're going to see these in action today. We're going to see how these functions can be reusable and how they can perform an action for us that we can reuse over and over again. We know that our function comes down into 2 pieces. We have our function declaration and our function call. Our function, we pass in our arguments. We call mom to argue. Our arguments fall into our parameters. Parameters is whatever we passed into the function. So here is an actual function called yell. We passed in hello as an argument. It falls into our parameter word. We see word. It's actually going to alert hello. We're going to see these functions and actions in just a few seconds here, folks. And we're going to see some interesting things about the alert later on today. All right, we talked about loops as part of the big 4. Our variables, our functions, our conditionals, and the loops were the last of the big 4. Then we added on our arrays, we added on our objects, but our loops are just a way of doing something multiple times. We enable us to iterate through an action over and over again. We've seen for, we've seen while, we've seen for each. We're even seeing some other array methods that still do looping, like map and filter and some other ones that still loop through all of our content. Alrighty, the original for loop we saw, we set up our counter. We say when the loop ends and how much we go up by each iteration.
The iteration.
Just be console logging that counter each time the loop ran. We saw some other loops, like we said, while and for each.
While, for.
Now let's get into some review.
Let's get in.
So if you go ahead and open up the materials from today, we're going to continue with our Power Ranger themed review. And we have a turbo review.
I remember
There's a
turbo
lot here, folks. In this turbo review, we got some variables questions, some function questions, some conditional questions, some looping questions. And I want you to jump into this. I really want you to shift into turbo exactly, and see if you can get through these. And we're gonna go over them together. But I'm gonna
go with me.
Go
with me. Let's get into it.
On the board here, healthy 10 minutes on the board here. Go ahead, open up your code and have at it.
Oh, he gave us 10 minutes. Cool.
Remember, you can always turn off the sound while you're working if you need some peace and quiet. Otherwise, I will see you in 10. You got to dig deep.
It says declare a variable and assign it to your fave drink. Matter of fact, hold on. To make sure it goes over there real quick. There you go. Aha! Hey, I remember these. Anyway, moving on. All right. Declare a variable and assign it to your fave drink as a string. Declare a variable. My favorite drink, so it'll be constant. Drink.
Apple juice. Bang equals is just not equal in value. Bang equals is not value in value and type, just like double.
Just say fave drink. Yeah. Fave drink as a string.
7 minutes. You can use whatever. Doesn't matter.
That's true. String and print the value to the console. Okay, I mean that's easy enough. Drink. Print it to the console log. Alright. Got that.
Well, if we get to React after we learn full stack.
Bro, how in the world you anyway? There you go. That's how you do it. It's not up there. Oh my gosh. Oh. Refresh though.
Variables to a function.
There you go. Sprite.
So variables in JavaScript can hold anything, including function.
We're just reviewing. It's about to be lit. I like the reviews. Declare a variable and assign it a string of multiple words and check to see if one of those words is
You're gonna run into
Apple.
Some efficiency issues.
Assign it a string of multiple words. Sounds like an array to me. All right. Let words
Class 13, am I that far behind? No. I mean, we also have the catch-up crew.
Banana.
So feel free to kind of catch up at your own pace and then join us live. Is it bad practice to put loops inside of other loops? It depends on the problem and what you're trying to do.
Pineapple.
We'll cover our data structures and algorithms. We'll be able to figure out the efficiency of the code that we're writing. It's not something you should worry about right now.
Rape. Apple.
Stinker, you can.
Would it be map? Ooh, I started to do something wicked. How would I do that?
Yep, Iron, you should. Tech, all the homework is in the follow along materials channel. You can just search in that channel for the class that you're trying to work on, and all the materials are there.
If oh yeah, I could just do it like that. That's simple. I don't know what I was about to do. I was about to make it complicated.
Turn up.
If
Fred, yep. You can also do exclamation point, semicolon if you want to learn more about it here in chat.
not curly brackets.
I'm behind for classes. Should I watch those first or watch your live class right now? I would catch up with the other classes and join us live for office hours though. Gar, for GitHub, you're going to also be committing your homework. We're also doing lots of projects as we kind of continue. We wind up doing more projects as time goes on. Like even like less class, more projects.
I don't know how that'd work. Not currently, I don't anyway. But I'm not afraid to find out.
1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday.
I'll move on though.
All right, folks, we're halfway.
I'll check it first off.
You got this.
Check it. If it don't work, I'll come back to it. 12 as an unexpected error.
Flozzy, it's in the follow along materials channel. Chara, no, join our Discord, exclamation point Discord, and join the Ketchup Crew.
Oh.
George, you can.
That'd work. It should. Why is it not working?
Sorry if it's hard, we're going to go over it together.
This is an if statement, but it isn't a loop, so it's not going to loop. That's alright. Anyway, that's what I put up there. Next, function. Create a function that returns a rock, paper, scissors as randomly as possible.
Probably OG green, right? Mine, that's awesome. Hey, well, hopefully folks were there and this is a review for them. You need to tell them that, hey, you're not currently looking for opportunities, but you will in a couple months, and we would love to reach back out then.
Function.
Gotta know, because I don't know how to. I wouldn't have to figure out how to vent them. Yeah, I mean, this rock paper scissors comes up in Code Wars quite frequently, or very similar aspects of it across a lot of problems. This be doable. There's pieces that you should be able to get for this. Maybe not everything, but it's involved. Me have to do some Googling. It's all right though if you feel behind. We're gonna go over.
What would I call it? Just say moves.
Site then.
Moves. I can do this instead.
Fozzie, on our Discord, you have to agree to the rules, and then once you do, there's a follow along materials channel.
Should be at random.
Yeah, we're gonna do a class on online presence, stuff like that later on. We got to learn how to use GitHub before we can talk about optimizing our GitHub.
I don't know which one that'd be.
Are we allowed to Google help for this assignment? Always. You're always allowed to Google. Even on the job, you're supposed to Google. So I wouldn't make
create a function that takes in their choice,
job, right?
Rock, paper, or scissors, and determines if they win the game of rock, paper, scissors against the body using both.
The Code Wars RPS coming in clutch. Yeah, this shows up quite a few times. Can I Google an interview? Some interviews. Yeah. Depends on the interviewer.
I know how you can do a prompt.
All right, folks. Come
Or
on
you can
back.
do
Let's look at
inner
this
text.
together. See if we can get this one underneath.
So there's no place to really write anything here.
All right, how far you got? Let's try and do it together.
Ooh.
All right, let's chill the music. Alrighty, so close. That's all right. It's all right. Let's go over it together. Declare a variable and assign it your favorite drink as a string. Make sure there's no white space on either side of the string and print the value to the console. What did y'all come up with to make sure there's no white space on either side of the string? What did you come up with? Ooh, trim. Yes. So trim. If you haven't come across it in your Code Wars yet or the reading yet, you probably would have Googled it and came across with trim. All right, so we'll use trim. So let's go ahead and declare a variable. Let fave drink equal. This one's always so hard. Baja Blast. Right, but
That midnight. It
can't leave it about. I'm gonna have to do
at midnight Baja Blast.
Diet.
Serious.
Capitalized. Diet. Vanilla. Coke.
He's walking through it right now. So if you just joined, he's walking through it.
If you know, you know. But the legit syrup, you know, like the legit.
Obviously, these are wrong. And I didn't pay attention to this part.
You know, it's all right. All right, so I intentionally put some space on the beginning and the end of this string. And so what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to, when I print it to the console, not have those spaces. So I'm going to reassign favorite drink. And I'm going to set it equal to favorite drink, but I'm going to do trim. Beautiful. And so just looking at trim, what do we know trim is? Just by looking at trim, what do we know this is? What is it? Yeah, it's a method. All right, we're gonna keep that in our mind. It's gonna be a method later on. Let's keep that in our brain for now. And then it says print it to the console. So let's go ahead and do our console.log. And let's go ahead and put in fave drink. Let's save it up. Let's make sure we open this one in the browser. Alrighty, we got our Power Rangers Turbo.
Leon's doing the poses. It's funny.
Get the hand exercises in there. All right, let's look at our inspector. Let's look at our console here. And we should see Diet Coke from Friendlies. And we can see that there's no space. It starts right at the beginning. So the trim worked. It got rid of
I should do that.
All right. Look at this next one here.
Wait. Go back. How'd you check?
No space. White space. It starts right at the beginning. So the trim worked. It got rid of the space for stray. All right. Look at this next one here.
Trim.
Declare variable.
I need to put note of that.
String of multiple words.
That's probably gonna open up right here. Hold on real quick. Real quick, y'all. I need to add that trim. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna hide this from y'all. Hold on. How do I? rid of the white space when console oh, I'll just say what method. Yeah. What method do you use? 2. Yep. That way I make my own like review. This helps. What? I'll just say method. Method. There you go. Trim. And then I'll copy this and use it as an example. Wait. Example. I usually put EX. But wait, I'm gonna need this for context. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need that for context. There you go. Now I added that for review. That way I don't forget. I have like 56 cards to go through. I'm gonna do it today whenever I'm in between tasks. Anyway, let's go ahead and put that away, put you away, and back to what we were going through. Let's get
One of the words is apple. All right, there's lots of ways that we can like check for words in a string. What are some things that you came up with to see if a word?
You say in the string. I put it in an array. So.
Ooh, I see some folks that.
I guess I could have.
Be one. Search is one I think is a little less known, or I mean it's definitely out there, but
I thought about that.
I haven't seen it as much.
My mind just jumped to arrays.
Search could work. There's some ways that you could split it. There's some other like fancier things to do. I am just going to use the search method. So let's go ahead and try that.
Let me pause that. Let me fix it that way mine looks like his. Or whatever he's about to type. Wait a second. Undo that. Is it's wrong anyway, and I know it. Words. I know what I'll put. It'll be like a sentence. In a day keeps the doctor away. Alright, cool. So let's see what he was talking about.
It has to be a string of multiple words. I was going to say an array of multiple words. It's a string of multiple words.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and say let stra equal, and we're going to put in some words in here. Bob, duck, apple. Oops, let's keep it lowercase because that's what it's looking for. Apple.
I just made a sentence.
Dog.
Let's try it.
There we go. Bob, duck, apple, dog. Beautiful. So it's a string of multiple words. All right. So the string was the key there. Bob, duck, apple, dog. And we want to see if apple's in there. So there's something we can do. I'm going to console log it just so we can see it. We can console log stra, which is just short for string. Search. And we can put the thing that we're searching for inside of that search. So I'm just going to put the word apple in here. So let's save this and let's see what we get. All right, we got the number 9. We got the number 9. So
wait a second.
Means that the search worked. It did find the word, no space. It starts right. Can't leave it about. I'm gonna have to do.
I'm rewinding the video.
Bob, duck, apple, dog.
What did you do?
All right, so it's a string of multiple words. All right, so the string was the key there.
Moves has already been declared. It's worried about this.
We want to see if apple's in there. So there's something we can do. I'm gonna console log it just so we can see it. We can console log stra.
We're just gonna get rid of these because they're wrong.
Search. And we can put the thing that we're searching for inside of that search. So I'm just gonna put the word apple in here. Let's save this and let's see what we get.
A-P-P-L-E.
All right, we got the number 9. So let's go ahead and do our console log.
This looks like mine. Yeah.
We can console log str, which is just short for string, search, and we can put the thing that we're searching for inside of that search. So I'm just going to put the word apple in here. So let's save this and let's see what we get. All right, we got the number 9. So that means that the search worked. It did find the word apple. What do you think the 9 means? Where did it get the 9 from?
Alrighty, I broke something. Let's look at what we're doing. Anyway, A-P-P-L-E. Sure, that search. There's a bunch of stuff going on in Discord. Alright, 8 and 9. If you're in there, say, hey, what's up? Introduce yourself. All that cool stuff. I'm a like, comment, subscribe, all that cool jazz. I appreciate it. But let's figure out what I did wrong here. Because we're checking to see if one of the words is apple. A console logged, right? I didn't spell struck wrong. So there's that. That search. I know it ain't me. Who's dinging like that? That must be it's one of the other groups I'm in. Dinging on Discord. Anyway. And get rid of this. Yeah. So now it says 6 is holding it up. How so? It's a type error. On 6. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's count it. Let's go back. Let's take a look.
See what his looks like and we'll see what mine looks like. That could very well be it. And apparently not. Let me see. Extra equal. Ah. There you go. There you go. Got it. Yep. Because I said constant instead of let, and I reassigned it here. It be the small things. Alrighty, back to it.
Alright.
Man, it be the small things.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So A is in the 9th.
It says 9.
String. So
mine
like
says
the
3rd.
Index of the string, right?
It's 1.
Started counting with
2,
0 with the B.
I mean 0.
So A was at the
1,
9th
2,
index in the string. So that's cool. So if you do the search and it finds a match, it returns.
I think that'd be a good one too.
Yeah, there you go. Like the character index of where that word started. Now the cool thing is if you, let's say if we put in, let's misspell, let's put in something that's not in there. Let's put in phone, right? And let's go and save this. Let's go ahead and refresh. All right, we see what happens when it's not in there. We get a what? We get a negative one. Right? We get -1. So -1 is like saying, hey, we looked in that string and we didn't find it. So now we know if it's in there, we're going to get a number. If it's not in there, we're going to get -1, right? Cool. There are always different ways to solve this. Part of my job is to show you a bunch of different stuff, right? So there are other ways to do this, absolutely. But if everyone knows the easy way, then I'm going to show you some other ways too. That's kind of the point, right? We gotta have some fun. We gotta see all the different ways to do it.
All right.
Other ways in your Code Wars to go about this stuff, but I'm going to try and show one that
I like search. Search is interesting.
Alrighty, so we got the search.
Alexa, stop talking.
With the string, we were able to find that there wasn't a phone. We got -1. So how could we check to see if Apple was in the string or not? Like what could we do to just to figure out, like, to say like yes or no? Like what if we wanted to like console log yes or no? Yeah, we could just do a conditional, right? We could just do a conditional. So let's go ahead and change this from a console log to like an if. And if it's in there, let's say as long as it doesn't equal what? As long as it doesn't equal what?
-1.
Yeah, we can say as long as it doesn't equal -1, we can go ahead and console log yes. Else we could console log no.
Oh, okay. So I still would have needed
Have it covered regex? No. And I probably won't. When you're doing your Code Wars and your code challenges, really push yourself not to use regex. Regex is a quick way to solve a lot of this stuff. Don't use it when you're doing Code Wars. Yeah.
Regex.
It definitely is something you can pick up when you're going into interview season, but when you are like actually trying to solve problems, you're way better off learning the different methods and the other ways of solving stuff than you are like really investing in learning regex. When it comes time for interview season, sure, pick up the basics, but when you're going through Code Wars, don't use it. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we had y'all can look it up. Everybody's like, what is regex? It's regular expressions. It's ways of kind of like using some shorthand notation to do stuff, specifically with strings and string manipulation. So it's really easy to like check to see if stuff's in a string, add stuff, remove stuff. And so when you do your Code Wars, it comes up a lot. And some of my students kind of over invest in it, and it never pays off dividends. You'll be in an interview and you'll solve a regex and they'll be like, great, can you actually code it though? So add it to your repertoire at the end, not something you should worry about now. All right, we're not searching for phone though, we're searching for Apple. Cool. So let's see if this works. Let's save this. Boom, we got a yes. We know that Apple is in the string and this conditional works. So search for the string Apple as long as it doesn't equal -1. Why do I say -1? As long as it doesn't equal -1. Why am I saying not equal to -1?
I mean, that way,
yeah,
you know it exists.
If this search did not find Apple, it would return -1. So as long as it doesn't equal -1, I know that it did indeed find Apple, right? I know that it did indeed find Apple. So as long as it's not -1, I know that if it returned any other number, that it did find Apple. So I can go ahead and say yes. If it was -1, I can go ahead and console log no. Beautiful. All right. Create a function that returns rock, paper, or scissors randomly. What can we use here? What could we use here to figure out if something is random? How can we get a random number?
Random,
Yeah,
but I don't remember how to use it
before. So I'm going to use math.random here to help me figure out how to return rock, paper, or scissors randomly. So let's create a function. I'm going to call this rock, paper, scissors. Beautiful. And the very first thing I want this function to do is to give me that random number. So I'm going to say let random equal, I'm going to do math.random. Now, what math.random does is it returns a number between 0 and 1. So it's going to give me like a decimal between 0 and 1. For some folks, that kind of hurts our brains a little bit. So instead of saying it's between 0 and 1, imagine it was going to return a number between 0 and 100, right? It's just going to randomly give me a number between 0 and 100, right? It's really between 0 and 1, but let's just use this as a better example. So if it's going to return a number between 0 and
like I had that before I deleted what I had.
I want
not this
to occur a third of the time because I want it to either be rock, paper, or scissors. If I want something to occur a third of the time, I can check to see if that number that was returned is less than what?
Less than
yeah. Make sure that it's less than 33. If it was less than 33, I should go ahead and return rock. If it was less than 66, I'll return paper. And if it wasn't less than 33 and it wasn't less than 66, then the only thing it could have been is a number between 67 and that 99, which means I should return scissors, right? So that's the only thing I'm doing. I'm just using this math.random to give me a random number. And once I have that random number, I'm just gonna have a conditional, right? I'm gonna have a conditional that says, all right, was it less than this? Do this. Was it less than this? Do this. And if it wasn't less than those two things, then the only other possibility would be for it to be the other one. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a conditional. And I'm just going to say if, and we're going to say if random is less than what? We know that math.random returns between 0 and 1. It really does do 0 and 1. So what are we looking for here? Yeah, less than 0.33. Cool. If it's less than 0.33, let's go ahead and return rock. Else if, what are we going to check for? If random is less than what? What are we going to check for this time? If it wasn't less than 0.33, what's the next thing we check? 0.66. Nice. And if it's less than 0.66, we'll go ahead and return paper. Whoop. Cool. Now remember, it doesn't return 1. Like 1's not a possibility. It's between 0 and 1. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. So now we should randomly return rock, paper, or scissors. So let's go ahead and just call this once. Let's go ahead and save it. Let's go to our console here. Let's go ahead and do rock, paper, scissors. We'll run it. We get rock. Let's run it again. Paper. Let's run it again. Scissors. That was perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better one there. Cool. So you can see as we keep calling this function, it keeps giving us a random value between rock, paper, and scissors. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next piece here. And what I like about this is a singular function that does one job, right? It does just returning of rock, paper, or scissors. So it's a function that uses some stuff that we've seen before to do one thing, return rock, paper, or scissors. Let's look at this next thing. Create a function that takes in a choice.
Make it sure.
So meaning like we can play the game. Like we will give a choice of rock, paper, or scissors and determine if you've won the game of rock, paper, scissors against a bot using the above function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to create a function that takes in my choice and then see how my choice compares to the bot's choice and see if I win, to see if I lose, or see if I tie.
In about 9 minutes, we'll take a
Let's go
break.
ahead and
So
create a function
we'll
here.
chill.
And
Chill
my
for a minute.
function is just
And
gonna
we'll get
be-
back to
I'm
it
just gonna-
about
I'm just
15 minutes.
checking to see. I guess I'm checking to see who won. So I'll see. I'll create a function here. I'm gonna call it check win. I'm just gonna check to see who wins. All right.
Well,
And I'm gonna take in a choice. So I'm gonna call my parameter choice. Nice. And let's go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we have our choice that's coming in, but we also need the bot's choice. So like what the bot chose. How can I get what the bot chose? What could I do to get what the bot chose?
You could assign it, make it a function
Yes.
expression.
I could simply just call the function that we wrote above. So let's do that. Let's say
Okay.
let bot choice equal rock paper scissors, and I'm just gonna call it, right? Because what's gonna happen is when I run this, when I make this function call,
I made that way too
this function
complicated in
call's
my
gonna
head.
run this function, right?
Because I was about to make it an object and make the bot have the
It's either gonna be
behavior to
returning
call
rock.
the rock paper
This is
scissors.
the
I don't know why I thought this so
Or
far.
it's gonna be returning paper,
I need to work on that.
or it's gonna be returning scissors to this position. And so bot choice won't actually be this function call, it'll be whatever gets returned in the function call. So once bot choice runs, it's as though I had plopped in, if it's what it came out to be, rock there. And now wherever I use bot choice, it's gonna be rock. Cool. So now that we have the choice that I'm passing in as the player, I'm actually gonna call this player choice, just to make it a little bit clearer. Player choice. Cool. Player choice and bot choice. And now to see who win, I gotta do some conditional logic. What I need to do now is just check all the possible combinations, right? All the possible combinations
A player versus bot.
how I could have won. So let's go ahead and say player choice. If player choice equals rock and bot choice equals what how could I win? If I chose rock, what was bot choice have to be for me to have won?
Scissors.
Yeah, it would have had to be scissors, right? So let's go ahead and put in scissors. So if player choice is rock and bot choice is scissors,
Wait a second.
I know
I better
that I won.
brain keep
And
up.
just to keep this kind of
Fingers,
like
keep up.
together, I'm gonna wrap these in parentheses here. Cool. So now I have like this one condition for how I could have won. If I want to check for a different condition, what bit of logic do I need? So I have one condition where I would have won. What type of logic do I need to check for a different condition?
Else
Yeah,
if.
I need or.
Oh.
So if it wasn't that winning condition, check this winning condition. So let's say player choice was paper. Right, let's say player choice was paper and bot choice was what? What would bot choice have had to have been for me to have won if I chose paper?
Rock.
Yeah, it would have had to be rock. Cool. Let's do another or here. What if I chose,
Scissors.
what if player choice equals scissors? Right? And bot choice equals what? What would a bot choice have had to have been if I chose scissors for me to have win?
Paper.
Paper. Beautiful. All right, so are there any other conditions for me to win? I have a rock condition, I have a
No.
paper condition.
It's all the winning
I have a
conditions,
scissors
so I guess
condition.
we have to do the losing condition.
Nah, there's no other win conditions. Let's go ahead and do the tie condition. So what would constitute a tie?
I don't know.
Player choice
Yeah.
equals what? What would it have to be to
Bot choice.
Yeah,
That's the only way it'd be.
choice.
Mm-hmm. So way.
Cool. So if I win, I should do something in here. So let's just console log. You win. If player choice equals bot choice, I should say
You won.
you tied. And if I didn't win, and if I didn't tie, what's the only other thing it could be? You lose, exactly. Cool. So I now have the ability to call my previous function, which will give me rock, paper, or scissors. Then I am able to compare
I just thought in my head,
my choice,
SpongeBob.
botch choice to see if I won, compare it to see if I tied, and if I didn't tie or win, the only thing I could do is lose. So let's go ahead and run this.
Okay.
I am going to go ahead and play player choice, and I'm going to pass in rock. Let's see if this works or not. Uncaught reference error. Player choice is not defined. And look, it says line 42. Line 42, player choice is not defined. Let's go take a look at it. 42. Player choice is not defined. What did I do? What's wrong with this? It's not the function name. The function name is check win.
Check one, yeah.
The function name is check win.
I
Busy
didn't.
looking at the
I must be
parameter,
getting
not
tired.
parameter.
Something's up
So
with me.
the function name is check win. So let's call it check win. Beautiful. Let's save that. Let's go ahead and run it.
Knowing the Discord later, I'll be going through.
Let's go ahead and run it
He
again.
lost.
Let's
I wonder.
refresh the page.
Dang.
You lose. You
Wicked.
Man, I'm losing.
Haha, I won.
You tied. You lose. You tied.
I won again.
You lose. You tied.
Yes.
You tied. You win. Damn. We can't win. Yo, my code's hating. My code's a hater.
That's actually kind of fun. He did a lot of losing, but I won.
That's
Like,
how,
whoa,
that's how
my
life
third
goes
row.
some days. That's how life just goes some days. All right, let's take a look at our code here. We got our rock, paper, scissors. Make sure it actually is random. Less than 0.3, less than 0.6. That looks good to me.
I know a lot of this
Win logic
is like
looks good.
crazy
All right,
looking.
let's do a YOLO. Let's do a YOLO. I'm gonna go ahead and create a prediction here. Start prediction.
Oh, okay. He's about to. Leon's about to do a.
Lose. Win.
That's a good idea.
Lose.
What do y'all think?
All right, I'm gonna start prediction.
That's a good idea. That's probably what I do.
Go ahead.
I get more viewers and stuff like that. Like a lot of
We just run it
a lot of you guys keep stopping by
tie, we win it. We run it again.
and staying
So
longer.
win or lose. If there's a tie, we run it
I
again.
should do that. I think that'd be a good use.
I think this one was just 30 seconds. I didn't click the minute. Got like 10 seconds left to get in.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope.
Let's see what we got. All right, let's refresh the page. 3, 2, 1. You tied. All right. All right. Let's run it again. Let's refresh the page. We tied. We gotta run it again.
I won again.
Keep you in suspense. You lose.
I tied.
I feel like more people want to lose just because of the way that it was rigged up.
Nah, yeah, Leon's is bugging.
Code. You gotta check
it's
the code.
funny.
If you're better at code, you win more channel points. All right, let's go ahead and do the prediction here. Prediction outcome. Choose outcome. It was lose.
Math.random, make sure it's random. So
there you go.
We're already past that time. Soon as he goes on break, we're gonna take a 15-minute break.
Let's see. Let's give me the details.
Yeah.
Ooh, Pasta, I think put a big chunk. I think 49K went one way. A different. Hey, thank you for the sub. That's wild. Juggling, send me a whisper for somebody in science and software and game dev who you want to do the raid for. You were 17 months and different. That's wild. All right. Yeah, juggling biohazards did the guide the raid. So you get to pick send me a whisper as we get closer to the end of stream. All right, let's finish this up and then we can take our break. Actually, it's working. So we're working here. Let's take our break and then we'll do the loop. Let's take our break and then we'll do the loop. Cool. So 5 minutes on the clock. If you're new around here, we like to be healthy. We like to take our breaks. And so we're gonna put 5 minutes on the clock. If you're able, get up, move around, hydrate, and then we'll be back. We'll be back in 5. Different. Hey, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. That's wild. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. All right, 5 minutes on the clock. Different. Thank you. Put some music on. I'm gonna run some ads. See y'all in 5.
Well, he said 5 minutes. We're not doing 5.
Good to hear. Indifferent.
I'm looking up something real quick. I do have something. I haven't put it up yet. Anyway, we're going to take a 15-minute break right here. Let me go ahead and put the timer up. Sorry that I didn't, but I got you. What we're going to talk about, I guess, so far really is let's go over what actually went down. So far, one, I forgot how to use math random. Oh, and I made it more complicated than I should have so far learning about but yeah, or trim. I didn't know trim, and it said no white space on either side, which means I would have had to put white space on either side. I didn't understand what it was asking in order to fix that. So that's my first problem, right? I'm not reading carefully, so I'm going to have to take my time to read more carefully. Uh, let's see. How to use search, the string method right here. I've never heard of it. Did I Google it? No. Could I have Googled it? Yeah. Um, would I have known how to use it though? Not right offhand. So I would have had to play with that. That required more effort, and I should have put more effort into it. Because he did give us 10 minutes. Although I was on the right track, but again, to the first point, I made it more complicated than it should have. The rock, paper, scissors game. I understand this. What I didn't understand was mathed out random. That's really what I didn't understand. And I understood from here, I read that right, to use this function inside of another function they use conditionals. That way we could play against the bot. What did I make more complicated? What I made more complicated was trying to take in a prompt like from us on the like back here on the DOM, or document object model, website screen, whatever you want to call it. But I thought to do a prompt instead. However, I could have hard coded it, but that would have made it more interactive. And I suppose that'd be a good project to sit down and do, since now we've made both parts of the game. The function that runs using math random, which would be the bot, and then the win conditions, the tie conditions, and the losing conditions. Well, is what all we needed in order for the game to be interactive. So we've made one game in the review. This is only review, and it hasn't quite clicked for me yet, which is fine. I'm letting Leon's screen run on class 22. We're on class 22 of 100 devs. It's pretty cool so far. I would say like JavaScript objects. We haven't reviewed the objects yet, but I know we're coming to it. It's on the agenda. Hence, see, and somebody ran away. They ran away. They ran away because I said something forbidden, maybe. Where is it? There you go. So we got two reviews. Functions and loops, which is essentially what we did. Variables, console login, functions, function, and conditionals. This is a loops, and I guess the next one's going to be arrays, and then after that we're learning objects and basic APIs, and then the homework. So I'm excited to get to the homework portion, because I'll be streaming that. It usually takes me a while to get through the homework part, but again, like I said, I'm excited. Although I cannot share the the class being like you can hear the audio, but you can't see the video. I don't have permission to do that, so. But if you're in the Discord, that's fine. But we'll work alongside together and do it, right? So yeah. Something else I might need to set up would be great. Is did one of them stop? Did my Twitch stop? Must have been when I was updating the to try to get rid of the lag as much as I could. Have a busy day today being a father, so excited for that, right? While I'm here, let's do something awesome, like add something. Just so I don't jack anything up, right? Does it even play? How does that work? See, I don't even know how that works. Oh, that will come in handy though. There you go, that solves one problem. That solves one problem. Let me see something. Show me something. That looks weird. All of this looks weird. I don't know why all of this is in here. Because that looks really weird. We're still on break. I don't know. What did y'all get so far? That's dope. Okay, the next one though. No, did I close it? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Terrible. Terrible. There's something else too that's in here. If you're bearing with me, I appreciate it. Going through like doing the game and doing a sweepstakes, not sweepstakes, but like a poll, a draw, and stuff like that. That looks super fun. But that'd be cool to do, I think. Yeah, I think that'd be super dope to do. Why didn't they call me? They didn't even call. They should have called. But mobile has a mean lag, don't it? It's an extremely long lag. No, apparently all of it has a mean lag. Why is that? Interesting. Oh, 20 some second lag. It's supposed to be consistent. The bit rate's supposed to be consistent. But why it isn't? Beyond me. And apparently, this ain't hiding either. Oh, there you go. That might be why. Huh. Might just need more headroom for what's going on. I don't think I could fix it in time. It's like a 17-second lag. It's long. Yeah, gotcha. Alrighty, so back to where we go. Let's get it, let's get it.
Girl. Yeah, Toto, it doesn't matter if you're in Germany. Send me a whisper. You're good. I'll ship it to you. I ship anywhere in the world. All right, folks, come on back. Come on back.
It was in turbo.
What? Indifferent while I'm away too? Get out of here. Indifferent. Hey, thank you for the
I'm back.
20 gift
My bad.
cards. That is wild. Eternal, make sure you send me a mod mail about the resume review. And MJ builds A, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. And Carzy, sorry, I missed the 2-minute timer, Carzy. The next timer we do, we'll add 2 minutes to it. Sorry, I missed that. All right, folks, come on back. Different. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got to do the Pokemon card too. If we have time at the end of this class, we'll do it. If not, we'll do it during the best week ever. Well, can we get another cheap hydrate day? Yeah, we can do one soon. All right, folks, let's go back and finish this last bit. This last bit is the kind of how can we do this multiple times with the loop. So let's go ahead and read the instructions here. Create a function that takes an array of choices, play that game X times, where X is the number of choices in the array, print the results of each game to the console. I think this is pretty easy. For this one, I think we just have to use the loops that we've seen so far and just call that function multiple times. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's create a function and call this play game X times. Beautiful. And then we're going to pass in a number, or just we're going to say num just for number, so a number of times. And let's go ahead and we can just do, or sorry, no, we need to pass in an array of choices. Pass in takes in an array of choices. So this is our parameter is going to be an array. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and do array. Then we can just do for each.
Okay. I follow that.
I actually don't like how it set that all up. I'm going to type it out. For each. Cool. And then in for each, I am just going to call the check win. So I know there's a choice coming in, and I'm going to call check win with that choice.
He's
that's all we have to do here. Let me set it up. Let me try it out, and then I'll walk through how I think it's going to work. Play games X times. Let me pass in an array. I'm going to pass in rock. Then I'm going to pass in paper. And then I'm going to pass in scissors. Cool. So let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to comment out this one. So we should see three. We should see 3 win, loss, or ties inside of the console. So let's go see if this works. Let's refresh. And we got a lose, tied, lose. Damn. Can't get no love from the code that I wrote. Yo, my code hating today. Damn.
Well, wait.
The loops that we've seen so far.
Make sure I follow what he did. Wait.
This is our parameter is going to be an array.
He commented something out. I want to make sure I commented it out.
Then we can just do for each. I actually don't like how it set that all up. I'm going to type it out. For each. Cool. And then in for each, I am just going to call the check win. So I know there's a choice coming in, and I'm going to call check win with that choice. I think that's all we have to do here. Let me set it up. Let me try it out, and then I'll walk through how I think it's going to work. Play games X times. Let me pass in an array. I'm going to pass in rock. Then I'm going to pass in paper.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to pass in scissors. Cool. So let's go ahead
He
and
said
save this. I'm gonna comment out this one so it
check one. Okay, cool. It was this. Making sure. Checking. Ooh.
we should see three. We should see 3 win, loss, or ties inside of the console. So let's go see if this works. Let's refresh. And we got a lose, tied, lose. Damn.
How'd mine turn out?
Can't get no love from the.
I win 3 times, man. I'm legit.
Yo. My code hating today. Damn. All right, let's run it one more time. Let's see. Come on. It can't be that bad. Come on. All right, you win, you lose, you win. That's what I'm talking about.
Lose 1 time.
Some wins, some loses, some wins. You know, you got to get the wins in there.
Now mine, Michael, you love me.
All right, let's take a look at what the heck is going on in here. So, I am
Let me put my
calling my play games X time
there you
function.
go. Back.
Here's the function.
Okay.
The function takes in an array. And so this array is being plopped into the parameter of R. It's being plopped into the parameter of R, right? And so wherever I see R, it's our array that we just passed in, right? So you can kind of think of it as though this right here, I can just yoink it.
We're not going to make it to the second break
Is now
right this
sitting
instant.
right here, right?
It was a little long.
R.
I know it's long.
It's the array that we just passed.
It's going to be longer by the time
So
I
the rock,
put all of
paper,
it together.
scissors sitting there. Now the cool thing is the for each is going to run how many times? How many times is this for each goblin going to run? Yo, Funny, what's up? How you doing?
I know I downloaded today. See what
Yeah,
videos
that for each goblin is going to run 3 times because there's 3 elements in the array. And each time it runs, choice is going to be that element from the array. So the very first time this runs, choice is what, chat? What is choice the very first time this runs? Yeah, it's going to be rock. Rock is going to be a choice the very first time this runs. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass in rock into the check win function. And if we look where the check win function is, it's as though we passed in rock here. And so wherever I see player choice, it's going to be rock.
Rock.
So here's player choice of rock. And the other cool thing is when we ran the check win function, we also asked this rock, paper, scissors function to run. So that ran as well. And we got to come up here. We got to come up here to see what won from the rock, paper, scissors function. So the really cool thing about this is not only we're using the rock, paper, scissors function, we're also using the player choice function. We're also using our loop. Whew. Spider Lady, hey, thank you for the bits. All right, so let's run this back again. Let's look at it. All right, so we're running the for each once for each item in our array. The very first time choice is going to be rock. We're going to pass rock into the check win function. So let's go up and take a look at the check win function. We know that player choice is going to be rock. And so anywhere I see player choice, it's now rock, 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 right? And so before this check win function can see if I won or lost, it also has to figure out what the bot threw. So we come up here to see what the bot threw, and it's going to either return rock, paper, or scissors. So in the check win, we wind up
This is random.
rock,
But this is static.
to whatever came from the rock, paper, scissors function.
And now,
We do our either you
Wait.
win, you lose. Sorry, you win, you tied, or you lose, and that's it. And then we run this 3 times, so we should see 3 results. The first time we pass in rock, the second time we pass in paper, and the third time we pass in scissors. And so this check win function's gonna run 3 times. which means how many times does this rock, paper,
Not that
scissors
random.
function run? Three. Someone said, Leon, what's a real world scenario where you use this many functions? This is how a lot of your programs are going to come together. This is programming, folks. This is it right here. This is the bread and butter. This is what we do all day long. Because if we look at what's happening here, it's the core of what we said functions do. Functions are really good at doing one thing, and then we can reuse them as many times as we want. So if we go back and look at this code, I think this code's really,
if you're wondering, anyway,
the first time you see this, it can be mind blowing. It just seems like a lot, especially if like the array stuff's still not clicking. You got to come back to this. You got to understand all this code tonight. If there's one thing you come back and review, please make sure it's this turbo review, because it just really is that important. Because if we look, we have one function that is determining a bot choice, rock, paper, or scissors, right? Then we have a whole other function that's checking to see if we won. And then we have a whole other function that's like running the game. This is how our programs are going to be broken up into like individual reusable pieces. Because let's say I wanted to play a different game. What if I wanted to play rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock? Right? I wanted to play a different game. I want to play rock, paper, lizard, Spock. Do I have to change the playing of the game function?
No.
No, I don't have to change the playing of the game function. I might have to change check
The win condition.
a little bit, and I might have to change rock, paper, scissors a
Rock,
little
paper,
bit,
scissors.
right? But I don't actually have to change the playing of the game. And
Right.
so very quickly we can start to see how this could be reusable to even play other games. What if I wanted to play coin flip? What if I wanted to play a coin flip game? Well, instead of it being a best out of 3, it'd be a 50-50, a heads or a tails. So I could change this to 50-50 instead of 30-30-30 or 33-33-33, right? And then my check win could just be a slightly different change, and the playing of the game could stay the same. So eventually we wind up breaking a lot of these larger projects into smaller repeatable instructions that are our functions. And that's programming, folks. The programming is sitting down and thinking through, all right, how can I break this really large task into digestible steps? And how can I write these digestible steps in a way where they can be reused? And so that's the beauty of like programming. And so this is, I really like this example because it's the first time you see all these different functions coming together. Cool. Alrighty, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing.
All right.
Gotta hit the pose. Writing.
For right now, that's going to be all for now. Let me see. 121 even. It's 3 hours long. I will be back to do the rest. Let me take note, right? Is it taking me a minute to get through these classes? Yes. Yes, it does seem like it. 22. But I'll be moving a lot faster moving forward. I just need to get situated. At 1. All right. So we did our first review. Again, just to recap, we did our first review of primarily see, hold on. There you go. Functions and loops. We did use an array at the end, so I assume the next 2 hours will be learning. That's usually how these classes go. I'm excited as normal. A little tired, but you know, only because I got fatherly duties to attend to now. So yeah, no, that's just kind of how that goes. The long form will be in the lives and in the playlist. I will try to figure out editing for time's sake. How to speed these up so we can get through them together, right? And a couple of other things to add. So, but hey, I appreciate y'all coming on by. My name is Ben.